ago in the New Jersey Gladiators' last home game, they took on their arch rivals, the New York Dragons. Trailing by 14 points in the final minute, the Cedric Robinson show took over. In his first game with the Gladiators, Robinson would return not one, not two, but three kickoffs for touchdowns, keying the Gladiators' improbable victory. With the Gladiators trailing by 7 and no time left on the clock, quarterback Jay McDonough found his favorite target, Dennison Robinson, into the end zone for a touchdown, and the game went into overtime. Then the playmaker, Mike Horacek, took over. Little curl out, no tee. Horacek made the catch, and the Gladiators had the lead. One last chance for the New York Dragons, but they would come up short on their offensive possession. Jeremy Wilkinson would pick up the sack. Otis Moore recovers the fumble. Ball game over. Improbable win for the New Jersey Gladiators. A huge divisional victory. We welcome you inside the Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's live coverage of New Jersey Gladiators football here on the Yes Network. They take on the defending world champion, Grand Rapids Rampage. We take a look at the standings in the National Conference Eastern Division. New Jersey and Toronto tied for first place tonight. Toronto takes on Buffalo. We'll keep you posted on that score. The defending league champion, Grand Rapids Rampage, 5-2, a one-game lead over Chicago, the American Conference Central Division. Hello again, everyone. Glad you can join us for exclusive coverage of New Jersey Gladiators football. I'm Bob Popham. Well, after that improbable win against New York, the Gladiators went on the road. Good, solid win at Toronto. But last week in Chicago, the roof fell in on Sunday afternoon. The Gladiators managed to score only 14 points in the ballgame, and they lost to Chicago 44-14. So how do the Gladiators turn their fortunes around? To discuss it this evening, as always, my partner, NFL quarterback Jason Garrett. And Jason, the Gladiators made a lot of mistakes last week that they have to correct for this week's ball game.
They sure do. When the Gladiators have lost it this year, it's been because of turnovers. They're -9 in the turnover ratio. That leads the Arena Football League. 3 turnovers in the first quarter last week. It killed them.
Well, and they're not getting the ball in the end zone. They had 3 quarters last week in which they did not score a point.
Yeah, and when you don't score points in the Arena Football League, you don't have a chance. 14 points is like getting shut out in 11-man football. You don't have a chance to win the ball game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Grand Rapids knows how to get the ball in the end zone. They're the defending league champions, and their quarterback is spectacular.
It all starts with Clint Dalzell, the best quarterback simply in the Arena Football League. He's big, he's strong, but a lot like Kurt Warner. His best attributes are he's quick with the football and he's accurate with the football. He's thrown 41 touchdown passes so far this year.
Well, his favorite target, wide receiver Steve Smith.
Steve Smith has burst onto the scene, caught 6 balls for Buffalo last year, 59 already this year in 7 ball games.
Well, the New Jersey Gladiators hope to curb that fever of scoring for the Grand Rapids Rampage. A lot of other storylines will be following this evening. And to cover those, we send it down to field side and Leslie Bogosian.
Talking to the Gladiator coaches this week, they believe Grand Rapids has all the weapons. They think they have the best receivers, they think they have the quickest secondary, and they also think that they have the best quarterback in the league. They said they can't afford to get behind early because they'll never make up the points on this Rampage team. On the flip side, Grand Rapids decided to forego their Friday walkthrough and opted to visit New York City instead, including a trip down to Ground Zero. Bob and Jason, you can bet that them skipping that Friday practice was good bulletin board material for the Gladiators this week.
Will that decision come back to haunt Rampage head coach Michael Trigg? Frank Hagee looking for all the tricks, bulletin board material. The Gladiators coming up next here on Yes. New Jersey Gladiators Arena Football is brought to you by your Tri-State Quality Ford stores, built for the way you live. By Bud Light, make it a Bud Light. And by St. Barnabas Healthcare System, New Jersey's healthcare leader. Bob Papa, Jason Garrett, Continental Airlines Arena, the New Jersey Gladiators in their home red against the defending Arena Football League champion, Grand Rapids Rampage. Steve Viditek will kick things off for New Jersey. Viditek, a 30-year-old out of North Carolina State, has had his problems this year with field goal kicking, just 4 of 11 on the season, and the Gladiators have let up a couple of returns, and Willis Marshall, the return man, number 4 for Grand Rapids, is dangerous.
Yeah, it was a struggle early in the game last week against Chicago, and Frank Hagee told me before this game they had to get off to a good start, get that confidence going. It all starts with this opening kickoff.
Remember, everything off the net is live.
Let's go, Willis, to the crib.
Willis will take it from about 7 yards deep, and a nice open field tackle made by Roy Johnson. There you get a look at Clint Dolezal in his 7th year out of East Texas State. Second team all AFL last year. He had 7 touchdown passes in the Arena Bowl victory last year. Threw for over 3,900 yards last season. What makes him so good, Jason?
Well, you ask Arena Football League personnel all around this league, and they say Dolezal is the best quarterback in this league for a couple of reasons. He's athletic, he's big, but more than that, he's accurate. He throws the ball with great timing, and he knows what he's doing out there. Has had a lot of success in his career.
You're going to flip one to one of the tight ends, and an excellent play as they go to one of the linemen, and they just flip it up on the inside, and Grand Rapids with Rod Manuel making the catch. If you take a look at the offense, Clint Dolezal, obviously the key player, Steve Smith, the league's leading wide receiver, and Chris Ryan, outstanding running back. Take a look at the Gladiators defense. Damon Mason, one of the playmakers. Otis Moore, key pass rushing guy for New Jersey. For a 20-yard pickup. Now remember, in Arena Football League play, the clock will move continuously. It only stops with 1 minute to go in the half. 1 minute to go in the game. Everything off the net is in play. Dolezal, nice and easy to Smith. Makes a man miss. Lost the football at the 12-yard line. Gladiators say they have it. And now the officials point in Grand Rapids way. So another first down, 2 plays, and they pick up about 42 yards.
Yeah, not the start that Frank Hagee was looking for. They go deceptive on the first play, the big gain down the middle, and they go quick hitch on the second play. Dolezal, you said it. It looks awfully easy to this guy. He's a big, tall guy, and he just throws it like it's nothing, like it's a tennis ball, and he knows where he's going. He's quick, and he's accurate. And, again, this is not the start the Gladiators wanted.
1st and 10, deep in Gladiator territory. Dolezal, perfect timing pass, and the touchdown to Gary Compton.
That looked much too easy for the Grand Rapids Rampage. 3 plays, about 2 minutes. They go right down the field, and Gary Compton, one of the all-time leading receivers in this league, picked up a couple of weeks ago another touchdown to his resume.
3rd in Arena Football League history in receptions, yards, 6th in touchdowns, 5th in scoring. Last year, he was the Arena Football League's Ironman of the Year. Brian Goins on for the extra point. The uprights 9 feet apart. Slender target. It's live off a miss, but Goins is able to knock it through. So just like that, it's a 7-0 lead for the Grand Rapids Rampage as Gary Compton hauls in his 5th touchdown catch of the season. And quarterback Clint Dolezal throws touchdown pass number 42. And Grand Rapids can score in bunches. They have the early lead on the touchdown pass by Dolezal. Grand Rapids has vaulted out to a 7-0 lead over New Jersey here from the Continental Airlines Arena. Gary Compton gets the first score of the ball game for Grand Rapids.
Gary Compton is 5th all-time in touchdown catches in the Arena Football League. Is the slot man in motion, runs a little corner right. Look how quickly Dolezal gets him the football. Compton got his head around. Dolezal delivered it. 3 plays, touchdowns for the Rampage. Wow.
Goins to kick it off for Grand Rapids. He'll boot it to Cedric Robinson. Low off the net, tough handle. That's a live football. Cedric Robinson just trying to get it out of the end zone at this point. There's a flag in the end zone. I think there was a holding call in the end zone as well. So you heard in our conversations with Frank Hagee during the week, special teams obviously a key factor. Let's turn it over to our referee, Tom McCabe.
On the return, illegal block in the back on the kick on the receiving team, number 2. Pass the distance from the 5. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 2.5.
Let's take a look at the penalty first in the end zone as quarterback Jay McDonough leads his team out. And there's a lot of pressure on McDonough in this ballgame. He knows he has to match Grand Rapids with scores because the Rampage went on a rampage. 3 plays, 43 yards, 233 on the opening drive. Cedric Robinson in motion. McDonough's pass batted away along the line by Manuel. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. First for the New Jersey Gladiators. Mike Horacek, the wide receiver, wears number 1, 3rd in the AFL in receptions with 56. Cedric Robinson is a burner. Otis Moore, solid along the line. On the defensive side of the football, Gary Compton has speed, Joseph has speed, Polk has speed, Waters has speed. They have a lot of speed in their secondary. Alvin Ashley fakes going in motion on a 2nd and 10. You get 4 downs to pick up 10 yards for a first down. McDonough looking. Horacek, nice catch at the 10. It's shouldered out by Marshall.
That's something we're going to see a lot of today. Coach Frank Hagee told me that the way the corners for Grand Rapids play, their technique allows for a lot of deep post routes and crossing routes right there. A big throw coming out of the end zone by McDonough, and he needs this. This is a critical first down early in this ball game. When you score 14 points the week before and you struggle, you got to get the momentum turned quickly in this game.
Tom McCabe, the referee, on a 3rd down and short. Gladiators like to run it. They give it off to Frank Carter. He's near first down, near the 13-yard line. Bob Manuel made the tackle again. Frank Hagee, outstanding coach in Arena Football 2 with Quad Cities. Won a couple of championships, only lost 1 game in the last 2 years. Stepping up here with the Gladiators, he's turned this program around along with Chris Barrow, the general manager. Jay McDonough has added a grittiness, a first down for New Jersey.
Nice effort by Frank Carter on that one. A little extra leg drive getting him the first down.
McDonough looking for Horacek. He's got a step. And he's got a touchdown.
Yes, sir. And that's what Frank Hagee told us. They're going to take some shots against this speedy Grand Rapids secondary. And 4th play of the ball game, number 16 going to his favorite target, Mike Horacek on the go route. A heck of a throw. A great catch by Horacek.
His 58th catch of the year, his 11th touchdown catch of the year. That has been the one missing ingredient for the Gladiators this year. They have not had the ability to hit on the deep pass, long scoring drives, but Frank Hagee takes a little refreshment there as they go 37 yards over the top. Viditek's extra point is good. So New Jersey, with Mike Horacek, answer Grand Rapids. 9:26 to go, first quarter. 37-yard scoring strike for the 4th-year pro out of Iowa State. We're tied at 7 here on the Yes Network. Bob Papa, Jason Garrett, Continental Airlines Arena. Gladiators in Grand Rapids tied at 7 as Horacek goes over the top, Jason.
We talked about the technique of the Grand Rapids cornerbacks. Watch these guys. Outside-in technique. Inside-out technique. And you're going to see number 4 here, Willis Marshall. He's going to allow Horacek to take an outside release. They're very distinct in how they play. Horacek takes the outside release, and just goes deep, and McDonough throws a strike.
Viditek with the kickoff to Marshall, the man who got beat on the touchdown, and he gets dropped inside his own 10-yard line. Good kick coverage by New Jersey. So the clock stops right now, but once play begins, as Clint Dozell made it look so easy for Grand Rapids on their first possession.
Brian Schwartz, the defensive coordinator for the Gladiators, told me he was going to try to force Dozell in the Rampage offense to drive the football, not allow them to have big plays and not allow them to have short drives. They did it on the first one. Let's see what they do this time.
How about Yarnell, Mayfield, Raybon up front? 1 sack allowed all year. Compton right the touchdown, fumbles the football. Ashley knocked it out. Cedric Robinson has it. He's dangerous in open field and dropped at the 9-yard line.
That's exactly what the Gladiators defense needed to do. They got bitten by the turnover in the first quarter last week. This time the Gladiator defense steps up.
Boy, Alvin Ashley's not known for his defense, but it was Mason actually who stripped Compton there.
Mason's a heck of a player. He's the best coverage guy the Gladiators have, but he's also a physical player coming in with the hatchet job. And Cedric Robinson is one of those guys who seems to show up throughout the ball game on offense, on defense, and in the kicking game. That time making a nice return. The Gladiators are in striking distance.
That was the Lawrence Taylor chop there by Mason. 1st and goal for New Jersey as they try to take the lead. McDonough underneath Ashley, can't hold it. Had a step on Polk. Looked like they were trying to go over the middle to Cedric Robinson, and he got caught up in traffic. And speaking of Cedric Robinson, she has a little bit more. Leslie Bogosian on the talented man for the Gladiators.
Well, Cedric Robinson has had one of his own. He's had to paint his nails before each game. He's so strict about his ritual that when the team was in Toronto 2 weeks ago, Robinson realized he didn't have his nail polish and asked someone on the Gladiators staff if he could find a bottle for him before game time. He must have had it tonight after that play.
Thanks, Leslie. Never heard of that one. That's interesting. They're looking for Robinson on a 2nd and goal, and McDonough can't find him. I wonder what colors he uses.
Yeah, I'm not asking that question.
Did you ever have a teammate who
You know, I've never actually heard of that. I've heard of guys, especially quarterbacks, cutting their nails, you know, on a prescribed day before the ball game, but never painting the nails.
And sometimes catchers in baseball will paint their fingernails white so the pitcher can pick up the sign a little bit better.
There we go.
But he's got gloves on, so he can't even see. Anyway, 3rd and goal for New Jersey. This is a golden opportunity after forcing the turnover. Against Grand Rapids, you need touchdowns. McDonough buying some time. Can't get Ashley. We get a late flag. And I think Ashley might have been pushed from behind. This is a huge call right here.
It sure is. You got to take advantage of this scoring opportunity when you get the turnover. You want touchdowns. You don't want to settle for field goals.
Illegal contact on the defense, number 19. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's big right there. Fresh set of downs, 1st and goal. There you get a look at Michael Trigg in his 9th year in arena football as a head coach, 5th year with Grand Rapids. Was a quarterback of the Detroit Drive in 1989 and 1990 when they won back-to-back titles. Let's take a look at an important score from the division in which the Gladiators are in, the Eastern Division. New York and Buffalo tied at 7.
Big break for the Gladiators, getting another opportunity here. The Rampage defensive backs play very physically, got caught that time.
Going to run it with Cedric Robinson. Great blocking by Carter, and he just walks in. Frank Carter, number 27, the fullback, sealed that corner, didn't he?
He sure did, and Frank Hagee loves that motion by the receiver, and they run that Green Bay Packer end sweep, and Frank Carter was the guy that made a short corner for Cedric Robinson, and cashing in on turnovers is the key to winning in this league. It's hard enough to create the turnovers, but when you get them, you got to score touchdowns. The Gladiators got to break with the penalty, but they finished the drive.
See, Robinson will hold for Viditek on the extra point, and the kick is through. So the Gladiators cash in. Cedric Robinson with the rushing touchdown. 14-7, Gladiators in front. Live here on the Yes Network. The New Jersey Gladiators lead the defending league champion Grand Rapids Rampage 14-7 here in the 1st quarter. Tomorrow night at 8, join Michael Kay as he sits down for an hour with talk show host and lifelong Yankees fan Regis Philbin on the Yes Network series Center Stage. Regis not only likes to talk about his many years in show business, but baseball. You won't want to miss it when Regis Philbin takes Center Stage, premiering tomorrow night at 8 right here on Yes. Regis, of course, a big Notre Dame fan as well. Gladiators with a 14-7 lead. Steve Viditek getting set to kick off. Jason, the last couple of years with the New York Giants, you have played against the St. Louis Rams and Kurt Warner. What about that added pressure knowing that you have to put a lot of points on the board every time you step onto the field against a high-powered offense?
Well, the pressure is there, but as an offensive player, you have to put it out of your mind. You have to just go play your game. If you try to play to the pace of the other team, you're going to make mistakes and you're not going to execute well. I really like what Jay McDonough and the Gladiators have done so far in this game. They're playing at their own pace. They're taking some shots, and they've converted them.
And the kick coverage very good as Ricky Ross goes nowhere. So on 3 kickoff returns, the Gladiators have kept Grand Rapids inside their own 10-yard line. Now, Clint Dozell has not been slowed down at all here. He had a 3-play, 43-yard scoring drive. And on the second possession, threw a perfect pass to Compton for at least a 15 to 16-yard pickup. But Damon Mason punched the ball out. Cedric Robinson recovered it. And New Jersey would be able to punch it in for the lead. Ross in motion. Dalzell. Curtis Caesar. Caesar up to midfield and finally tackled by Mason. Curtis Caesar from Clint Dalzell. Nice pickup there. Caesar, in his 5th year from Grambling State, was a 7th-round draft pick of the New York Jets in 1995. He made the squad. He appeared in 4 games. But this rookie free agent out of Hofstra cost the roster spot of Dalzell, of Curtis Caesar.
I'll tell you what I like about Curtis Caesar. He's a big, tall guy, 6'4", 215 pounds, and quarterbacks love big receivers. Easy to throw to him. He's a big target.
Wayne Corbett, of course, taking his job here. Smith, and there's a flag by Mason. Smith had the step, and Mason couldn't get to the ball, so he just shoved him. Jason, I would think in this sport, when you play in the secondary, in arena football, you better have a short memory. And not let anything affect you.
Pass interference on the defense, number 9. The 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
There's no question about that, especially when you play against a team like the Grand Rapids Rampage. They score a lot of points, and the best corners have that. They have ability, but they also have a mental approach.
Clock to 4:58. Thank you.
They also have a mental approach that says, hey, I'm going to keep coming out here. I have a clean slate, and Damon Mason certainly does. And, you know, I like his physicalness. He ripped it out on the first drive. He's driving receivers into the boards. He's a presence back there, as well as being a good cover guy.
Dolezal, tremendous poise. Smith goes in motion. He's 5 for 5 with a sidearm underneath, and that time the Gladiators had it covered nicely. Israel Raybon able to make the catch, but no gain on the play. Wilkinson on the coverage.
We saw the graphic on Dolezal again, and he's the only guy in the history of the Arena Football League to throw 80 touchdown passes 3 different times in his career, and it's the most amazing statistic. All the stats here in the Arena Football League are inflated, but when I saw that one, boy, that really caught my eye. That's 240 touchdown passes in 3 years. He's a talented guy, and again, the league's best quarterback.
2nd and 10. Damon Mason read Dolezal's eyes and gets the interception. So Damon Mason has forced 2 turnovers on consecutive possessions, a forced fumble, and now an interception, and the Gladiators with a golden opportunity here.
We talked about the mental approach for a secondary guy, and Mason gets beat on the corner route earlier, and comes back and just jumps on this out route by Clint Dolezal, and Dolezal's quick with the ball, and he gets that thing out there, but Damon Mason saw what he was doing, and a heck of a return. And if you can look in front of Damon Mason there, you'll see Brian Schwartz, the defensive coordinator for the Gladiators, leading interference. Watch Schwartz right here. You'll see him out in front. He's trying to get out of the way, and I would too.
Coaches are allowed to be on the field. 1st and 10, Gladiators inside the 15. Here's Harachik, can't make the grab. A little overthrown by McDonough.
I like the approach, though. They call it sudden change, and you get a turnover, you come right back and you take a shot. And Frank Hagee has told us through the first 7 games of this season that he's felt good about how Jay McDonough's played. They haven't made enough big plays, and a great opportunity to make a big play on offense is after you've made one on defense. I like the play call on 1st and 10.
Well, Damon Mason has made the big plays on defense, and that pass interference was a wise move because instead of giving up a touchdown, they created another down. McDonough, Harachik, easy, like playing catch.
All day long right there.
2nd touchdown catch of the game for Harachik.
And Frank Hagee told us it's about horses and alligators. He likes matchup football. He likes his horses against their alligators. And right there, Mike Harachik, the best receiver the Gladiators have. Harachik is the best receiver the Gladiators have. Jason Waters is the best cover guy for the Rampage. The Gladiators won that time.
Bit attack. Steers it through the uprights. So New Jersey has chalked up a couple of turnovers, and Mike Harachik has made him pay. Gladiators by 14 in the 1st quarter. New Jersey Gladiators in front of the Grand Rapids Rampage, 21-7.
Mike Harachik in the slide. He's going to run the corner route. And again, Jay McDonough likes the matchup against Jason Waters. Waits for him to clear. A nice little inside move by Harachik. He's a big target. Jay puts it on him, and I like what the Gladiators have done. The Rampage made it look easy on their first drive, but the Gladiators have responded. 3 consecutive touchdowns. They're up 21-7 with just over 2 minutes to go in this 1st quarter. They're mentally into this ball game.
Steve Viditek to kick off. Turnover is a no-no in Arena Football League play. Ross watches it drip through the net for a touchback with 2:34 to go in quarter number 1. Well, fans, great seats are still available for the 2002 season. Your prorated season pass to Arena Football action can be yours for just $7 per game. You'll have the opportunity to be entered into a drawing for an all-expense-paid trip to Arena Bowl 16. For more information, please call 1-866-NJ-GLADS. That's 1-866-NJ-GLADS. Well, the Gladiators, taking on the defending league champions, have played with a purpose. They came out with a slow start last week in Chicago. They got burned badly. Dolezal, incomplete. He got picked off by Mason on his last pass. This time he misfires to Ross.
It'll be interesting to see how Clint Dalzell responds to this. Turnovers on 2 consecutive drives, and the momentum has certainly swung to the Gladiators. And if you're the best quarterback in the league, you just got to keep playing your game, and you got to keep driving the football and scoring points. There's obviously a ton of time to go in any game, especially arena football, and that's the guy that that the Rampage teammates are going to look to, number 13.
2nd and 10. Smith in motion, one-on-one. Instead, they go underneath the Ross. He's got the first down, and he's tackled by Mason. That time Ross working on Damon Mason, who's made a lot of big plays in this ball game. Jason, on the interception by Mason, in arena ball, is it easier to sit on that out route because there are the boards there, as opposed, so you can kind of gauge your spacing a little bit more as opposed to a sideline flat on the field?
I think as much as anything else, it's harder for the quarterback to pull the receiver away from the defender. There's a 4-foot board sitting right there. A lot of times in the NFL or the 11-man game, you can run the guy out to the sidelines. Much harder to do the dimensions of this field.
Smith wide open for the touchdown. Well, you see why he is the best in Arena Football League. Steve Smith, his 22nd touchdown catch of the year, a 33-yard strike, and Grand Rapids with the answering touchdown for Coach Michael Trigg.
And again, we go back to matchup football. There he is, Steve Smith, the league leading receiver, against one of the better cover guys in the league, DeRoy Johnson. He runs that corner route from the slot, the same route that Mike Horacek scored on the opposite end just a few moments ago. Dalzell right on the money. It's easy to see why they're the most prolific combination in the league, Dalzell and Steve Smith.
Brian Goins on for the extra point. 44-51 on the season. Tack another one on. That's good. So Grand Rapids easily gets a touchdown back. New Jersey in front, 21-14 with 4.7 seconds to go. Let's take a look at Steve Smith, the second-year pro out of Utah State, in action.
You see Smith working the slot. It's so difficult to cover a guy who's coming in motion right at you, and it goes to high-angle corner. Look at the throw by Dalzell, right on the money, and one more time, the high-angle cornerback, and you know, DeRoy Johnson is a heck of a cover guy, but that is so difficult to do. A guy like Smith can run awfully well, and he's running right at you. Difficult to defend.
You almost have to guess which way the guy's going and then just take a chance.
You sure do. You sure do. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that job at all.
Let's take a look at how New Jersey scored their points. They go over the top. Mike Horacek on the long scoring pass. Then after a forced fumble recovered by Cedric Robinson, he punches it in on a short run. Then after an interception by Damon Mason, it's Horacek again, his second touchdown of the ball game. So New Jersey has forced 2 turnovers. Frank Hagee has to be pleased, and more importantly, they have not settled for field goals. They've scored touchdowns.
They sure haven't, and Frank Hagee told us he's very happy with how consistently well and how efficient Jay McDonough has been all year, but they had to take some more shots. They had to throw the ball up and let their guys, a guy like Mike Horacek, a guy like Cedric Robinson, take their chances in man-to-man coverage against opposing DBs, and they've done that from the start of the game, and McDonough's been on the money, and the receivers have been making the plays.
Frank Hagee has a unique approach. Some coaches just rotate offensive and defensive players in. He has set patterns. He likes to use the clock. He'll play call according to the clock. Wants to make sure that he gets scores every time that he has the ball, but he's also trying to almost back time a game, TV talk, to figure out how he can have the ball last with a chance to possibly seal a game with the ball, either tied or ahead.
And the other thing he does with personnel is he tries to get guys who naturally play offensive positions playing offense the most.
Dennison Robinson. Dennison Robinson across the 20 and tripped up at the 22-yard line. End of quarter number 1. New Jersey has played a fine quarter. They lead the defending Arena Football League champions, led by quarterback Jay McDonough, 21-14, live here on the Yes Network.
Looking at Frank Hagee, we talked about his substitution patterns. He likes to get guys who naturally play offense, playing offense the most, and the same thing with his defensive guys. And he's always thinking about that and trying to put his players in the best positions, the positions they're most comfortable playing. He's been pretty darn good at it so far.
Start the second quarter, New Jersey with the football, and Alvin Ashley, that time the wide receiver for the Gladiators, played defense. on JoJo Polk as McDonough was backpedaling and couldn't get a lot on the throw. JoJo Polk in his second year out of Northeastern State, signed as a free agent last year. He had 61.5 tackles and 3 interceptions. Got hit in the face too, did McDonough.
He sure did. Big 93. Israel Raybon is the best pass rusher that the Rampage have, and put a little pressure on our man Jay McDonough. Jay got lucky. Alvin Ashley made a nice play breaking that thing up.
See the yardage, but the key here, Grand Rapids with 2 turnovers that have led to 2 scores. They go to the big guys. Wow! How about Jay McDonough finding the big man up front? Jamar Ward is
6'4", 340 pounds out of Morningside College, and there he is. Big athletic guy. You think he's an offensive lineman, you think he's a defensive lineman. Making a play. This is a lineman's dream right here, and I would not want to be a secondary guy. That's 340 pounds coming right at you. Gary Compton wanted no part of it.
But with the NBA Finals coming here tomorrow with the Lakers and Nets, that'd be like trying to tackle Shaq.
Oh, jeez.
Dave Viditek on for the extra point.
Everybody getting involved tonight here, Bob.
Jamar Ward, he has a rushing touchdown. Now he has a receiving one. The last time he probably caught a pass was when he played Pee-wee football. And it's hard to ever think of him as a Pee-wee player. Gladiators by 14 here in the second.
Big Jamar Ward is the tight end on this play, and watch him here. He's going to set the defensive end up, and then he's going to slip him. The pass rush is going to happen. McDonough's going to buy some time and get him the football, and Jamar Ward's going to do the rest.
The blitz came. Ward had it. You can feel the arena shaking.
And those DBs are looking for the foxholes. They say he's 340, but I think he's about 380, to be honest with you. I saw him on the field before the game. He is a mountain of a man.
So you're watching arena football for the first time. You say, well, why didn't the other lineman go out? He raised his hand just enough. One of the linemen has to raise their hand to signify that they will be the eligible lineman, that if there's a blitz, they're allowed to go out in the pass pattern. And he raised it up just enough. Viditek with the kickoff. Smith can't handle it off the iron. Ball loose. Smith, though, very elusive. He fumbles the football, and the Gladiators dive here. It's loose inside the 10, and I think Grand Rapids got it back. Looked like Ashley had a golden opportunity at the 5 and couldn't haul it in.
That would have been huge for the Gladiators. But I like what they're doing. They're swarming. They're creating turnovers. The ball's on the ground. There's a tempo and an energy that the Gladiators are playing with tonight that we did not see last week in Chicago. That would have been huge for New Jersey.
Well, Michael Trigg has to be disappointed with the sloppy play of his team. Smith had that ball knocked out from behind. Alvin Ashley had a golden opportunity, number 6, to get it. Could not bring it in.
Big Chris Ryan, the fullback linebacker for the Rampage. He's about 300 pounds himself, so I think he knocked that thing loose from Alvin Ashley, who only goes about 150. So I don't blame him.
Lozelle from his own 6. He's got Smith in motion. Will stop and go. Looks down the other side for Ross, and he can't make the catch. And some lucky fan will come away with a pig skin as Lozelle scrapes himself off the artificial surface. Let's take a look at the 2 touchdowns for Grand Rapids. First drive of the ball game, 3 plays, 43 yards. Compton on a 12-yard scoring strike. And then in the late stages of the first quarter, Smith just ran away from the defense.
And after that
after
that first touchdown, it looked awfully easy for Grand Rapids. They won 3 plays and they scored. And I'll tell you what, Frank Hagee's group really responded nicely, because when you lose a ball game like they did last week, it's easy when things don't go well for you to pack it in. They've responded well, and they're controlling this football game.
So Rod Manuel, the lineman, raised his hand. That meant he was eligible, but they go to the speedier Compton, who has a first down up to the 23-yard line. Well, tomorrow afternoon on Yes Network, Barry Bonds makes his last appearance at Yankee Stadium as the San Francisco Giants take on the Yankees in the rubber match of their 3-game set. Paul O'Neill joins Fred Hickman and Susan Waldman on New York Yankees pregame at noon. Then join Michael Kay, Jim Cotton, Bobby Mercer with all the action from the stadium starting at 1. Giants against the Yankees tomorrow afternoon at 1 right here on Yes. Exciting ball game in the Bronx today.
4-3 Giants.
Yeah, bad bounce. Bad bounce in the infield. Soriano couldn't handle a little grounder in the last inning. The Yankees will try to get the rubber match tomorrow. Get a look at Grand Rapids right now. Johnson trying to put a contact lens in.
Take a look at the mirror. He's not even using the mirror though. Little saline solution. Brian Schwartz, the defensive coordinator, taking an opportunity to convey some information to Cedric. DeRoy's going to be ready to go here.
We should mention the young man with the beard there, Stephen Cantor, who's the head trainer for the New Jersey Gladiators. Stephen worked with the New York Giants before coming over to the Gladiators. Fine trainer for New Jersey.
Steve does a bang-up job.
Literally. 1st and 10 for Grand Rapids. Dozell looking deep. Smith got tied up inside the 5. It's the second ball into the stands. Nice catch by that fan. With Glenn Foley jersey on.
You know, Dwayne Sabb, the best pass rusher for the Gladiators, is out for a little while, and Wilkie Bazile has really stepped up as their best pass rusher. And there's Wilkie at the feet of Dozell. And I'll tell you what, it makes a difference when you're a quarterback and you got people around you and you constantly have to deal with the pass rush. You don't have the same rhythm that you normally do. And I like what the Gladiators are doing up front to put some pressure on number 13. A little out of sync so far.
2nd and 10. Compton in motion. Dozell lost the handle as he went back to pass, but he pounces on it at about the 17-yard line. Grand Rapids not sharp this evening.
Excuse me, Bob, and as much as you like to say it, you know, as a quarterback, you have to deal with the different adversities in the game, but that pass rush is in his face, and Clint Dozell is a little out of rhythm right now, and it's time for the Gladiators to keep the pressure on. You gotta stay after him. You gotta maintain this momentum, force them into a kicking situation, and come back and get yourself a 3-score lead.
Gladiators nearly recovered a fumbled kickoff at the 5-yard line. Grand Rapids has already turned it over twice, as statistician John Berger points out. Only the 2nd sack allowed this year by Grand Rapids. Dozell gets hit as he throws it, but Smith makes the catch right over Mason and in front of Johnson. And Dozell got smashed as he let that pass go.
That was big Wilkie again at his feet, and one of the things among all of Clint Dozell's qualities, his ability, is his toughness, and he stands in there. Took all the snaps last year for Grand Rapids and takes one right in the rib cage, delivers a strike, and if he can play, he's going to play.
He took one right in the midsection as he went back to pass.
A lot of red shirts around Dozell on that one.
Michael Moncrief was the guy that hit him, number 92. Helmet right in the stomach. But in any event, a 1st down after the 27-yard pickup. Dozell underneath and dropped by Ross and nearly intercepted by Ashley. New Jersey with a 28-14 lead here in the 2nd quarter. And Grand Rapids almost giving New Jersey chances to ice this game.
A little bit of a slant route. The ball's behind Ricky Ross on that one. Dozell a little bit behind him. Ball pops up in the air, and Alvin Ashley almost makes another big turnover for the Gladiators. A little out of sync so far, the Rampage offense.
Smith and Dozell trying to get in sync. Compton will be the motion man, top of your screen. Pressure again. Fumble. Are you going to say that Dozell was down? Bates is the one that got the sack. 2nd sack of the game, only the 3rd sack allowed this season by Grand Rapids.
I'll tell you what, Wilkie Bazile, Carl Bates, and Michael Moncrief really stepping up in the absence of Dwayne Sabb, and this time it's Bates coming from the blind side, and as you said, coming into this ball game, the offensive line of the Grand Rapids Rampage had given up only 1 sack. A lot of that has to do with how quickly Dozell gets rid of the football, but they're pretty stout up front, and there he is, Carl Bates making a play, and there's a little momentum, little energy on that defensive line. Doing a great job so far.
It's credit to coverage as well. This is a 3rd and goal. Dozell underneath. Compton inside the 5. Good tackle made by Johnson. So that sets up a 4th and goal inside the 5. What does head coach Michael Trigg do? Does he send out the field goal unit, or will they go for it?
From the 4. Yeah, here we go. There's Wilkie.
And Corey Mayfield of Grand Rapids mixing it up. Wilkie Brazil giving away about 70 pounds to the 245-pound Mayfield. They're going to go for it here on a 4th and goal. Clock moving. Approaching 7 minutes to go in the first half. New Jersey up 28-14. Grand Rapids has already turned it over twice in this ball game. The fullback is Chris Ryan. Dozell to the end zone. Knocked away nicely by Johnson. Geroy Johnson on the 4th and goal. Played tough defense, Jason.
I like the call by Michael Trigg. Try to get the ball to the best receiver in the league, Steve Smith, but Geroy Johnson was up to the task. Little squiggle route in the end zone, tries to push off, and Dozell a little behind him with the football, and Geroy Johnson is there. Good pressure up front. Dozell looking, and there's number 5 making a play for the Gladiators. Last week, Grand Rapids had a huge win over Arizona. They scored 71 points and scored on every drive but the last one when they ran out of the clock. So far, there's been an interception, a fumble, and a stoppage on 4th down by the Gladiator defense. What a difference a week makes.
Clint Dozell, the quarterback, frustrated. McDonough under pressure, and he just throws it away. This is, as you see, Alvin Ashley taking a hop on the boards. This, Jason, is a very important possession in this ballgame. New Jersey, as you mentioned, has forced 2 turnovers. Plus, they've gotten to stop it. Frank Hagee has to be pleased with that. They lead by 14 points. If they get a score here, it sets them up for the rest of the game. This is a very critical drive. If New Jersey can get a touchdown right here, they can then play tit for tat and sort of take a lot of time off the clock.
They sure can. They got to keep the pressure on them. They can make this a 3-touchdown game, as well as Grand Rapids plays on offense. They'll put a lot of pressure on those guys.
2nd and 10. McDonough underneath. Cedric Robinson lost the handle. Ruled incomplete. Let's send it down the field side, and Leslie Bogosian.
After last week's loss to Chicago, McDonough was a little slow to come around his first few days of practice this week. Coach Hagee told me Jay is very hard on himself, and sometimes he needs some special attention. Coach called his quarterback a few times this week, reminding him that he's the guy, and to forget about what he calls the ghost, all the what-ifs that go around in McDonough's head. Hagee said it's all part of his job description, part coach, part psychologist.
All right, thank you very much, Leslie. And Coach Hagee has done a good job of getting McDonough prepared each week, even with the frustrations. McDonough looking for Cedric Robinson, can't find him. Marshall on the coverage, not a sharp series. McDonough got hit. So remember, in Arena Football League play, you can't punt. There's no punting. So New Jersey is going to send out the field goal team, and the field goal kickers, you got to look at Jay McDonough's numbers. Nothing special, but he's gotten the ball in the end zone.
That's the one that's special right there. 4-12, but the 3 touchdowns so far. A little different approach on offense for the Gladiators. They're taking some shots. He's cashed in so far.
Steve Viditek to try a field goal. He's 4 of 11. This is a 61-yard kick. But remember, you can use a kick as a pass, almost like an onside field goal. Let's see if New Jersey tries that. Yep, they do. But it's not going to be fielded by a Gladiator. It's taken by Smith instead. Smith looking for some blocking. Smith across midfield, and Smith dragged down from behind at the 17.
Yeah, great description there by you, Bob, and pretty easy to see why Steve Smith is as good a receiver as there is in this league. Awfully comfortable fielding that punt, and he just is magic when the ball's in his hands. Great quickness, great speed. He's just a playmaker and has been all year long for the Rampage.
Clint Dozell, the best quarterback in Arena Football League play, but he's had some struggles against the Gladiators. Picked off in the first quarter by Damon Mason. That set up a score. He's been under a heavy pass rush in this ball game. In fact, he was only sacked once in the first 7 games this season. He has been sacked twice already in this ball game. His numbers are good. 11 of 17 for 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Sacked twice. But after New Jersey failed on their opportunity after a goal line stand, Now it's an opportunity for Grand Rapids to get right back in it with a wide receiver screen. And Marshall stopped in his tracks for a minimal gain. Carter on the tackle.
The most impressive part of this game so far has been the defensive line for the Gladiators.
Not as impressive as Tiger Woods. Tomorrow night at 7, tune in to the Yes Network special, Tiger Woods, a legend in the making. It's an up-close look at Tiger's life and career as he prepares to shoot for an 8th major at this year's U.S. Open. Bethpage Black. Tomorrow night at 7, right here on Yes, Tiger Woods, a legend in making. Second down. Marshall, flag on the play as he pops it in. There's a flag at the 10-yard line. Find out if this comes back or if this is on New Jersey.
The defense, number 27 out of the box. The penalties decline. The result of the play is a touchdown.
That is the linebacker. Frank Carter, explain illegal defense, Jason.
Well, one of the linebackers is going to rush, and the other linebacker has to stay in a box that goes 5 yards deep into the secondary from the line of scrimmage, and is the width of the guard and tight end box. So when that linebacker leaves that particular box, it's going to be an illegal defense. And I'll tell you what, Willis Marshall making a big play, stepping up for the Rampage there, closing the gap in this ball game.
Well, as Goins was getting set for the extra point, we
Part
get
of the
flag.
snap, ball start number 50 on the offense. 5-yard penalty will replay the try.
So they'll move it back 5 yards. So they spot the ball at the 15. The end zone is 8 yards deep. So this is now a 23-yard extra point. And with the uprights only 9 feet apart, this is not a gimme. And remember, the ball is live off the net if there is a miss. Goins puts it through. So Grand Rapids clawing their way back into the contest. They trail by 7. New Jersey has the serve here on the Yes Network. But with the French going on in Paris, there are similarities in arena football as far as service breaks and drives in which you have possession of the football and do not score. There have been 3 of those for Grand Rapids. New Jersey has 1, and Grand Rapids has sort of answered back. Jason, let's talk about the illegal defense and what that box means.
The box is going to be right here. It goes 5 yards deep into the secondary, and it goes for the width of the tight end and the offensive guard on the other side. And one of the linebackers is going to blitz, and the other linebacker has to stay in that box. And the only time he can get out of that box is if the quarterback gets out of the pocket. In that case, Frank Carter got a little anxious trying to be a pass defender, got out of the box, got called for the illegal defense.
Goins to kick off. Good high climbing kick. Dennison Robinson trying to set up the return. Robinson runs into some traffic at the 15-yard line. So let's take a look at a key score in the Eastern Division. The New York Dragons leading Buffalo 20-10 at the half. The Gladiators with a 1-game lead over Buffalo in the standings. Bob Papa, Jason Garrett, Leslie Bogosian, Continental Airlines Arena. Live coverage of New Jersey Gladiators football here on the Yes Network. Grand Rapids is the defending Arena Football League champions. New Jersey has a 7-point lead in an exciting first half of play. 1st and 10 for New Jersey from their own 15-yard line. Jane McDonough, the quarterback. He's thrown 3 touchdown passes in this ball game. Little screen for Carter. Marshall read it nicely. In Arena Football League play, the clock moves until there's 1 minute to go in the half or in the game. Then it goes into more traditional football rules where the clock stops on incompletions. Well, the Gladiators' next home game is Sunday, June 23rd. They take on division rival, the Buffalo Destroyers, on Summer Beach Night. Get a ticket for $12 by wearing a Hawaiian shirt. First 2,500 fans receive a water bottle, compliments of Bud Light. Call 1-866-NJ-GLADS for more information. 2nd and 10 for New Jersey. Robinson in motion, bottom of your screen. McDonough, flag on the play, skips it to Horacek. This flag is in the secondary. And let's see if this is an interference call against the defensive squad of the Grand Rapids Rampage. Tom McCabe is our referee.
Illegal formation on the defense. Number 91 lined up wide. The 5-yard penalty repeats 2nd down.
That's another thing, Jason. You can't do like Michael Strahan or Reggie White and line up as far as you want when you're an end.
You sure can't, because you only have 3 offensive linemen. You don't want to give those defensive linemen too much of an opportunity to get too wide. You have to line up within the framework of either the tight end on one side or the offensive guard on the other side. And Corey Mayfield got outside trying to give himself a little bit of an advantage coming off the edge.
Second down for New Jersey. Approaching 1 minute to go in the half. McDonough fumbles the snap. McDonough falls on it at the 16-yard line. And New Jersey can ill afford an empty trip here, as that takes us to 1 minute remaining in the first half. They've forced 2 turnovers and gotten a goal line stop against Grand Rapids.
There's 1 minute
New Jersey has
left
had one empty trip of their own.
Now apply. Grand Rapids has 3 timeouts left. New Jersey has 3 timeouts.
And we talked about execution in the open, and you know, it's hard to make big plays if you don't make it the little plays. You get yourself in a long 3rd down situation because you can't get the center quarterback exchange. It disrupts the whole rhythm of the drive and the whole rhythm of the down and distance situation. And you put yourself in tough situations. It becomes that much harder to make the bigger plays that you need to win ball games.
Unlike in outdoor football, 3rd down conversion stats not nearly as a premium because there's no punting, so you can go for it on 4th. Here's Jeremy Wilkinson with a key first down catch across midfield. Waters saved a possible longer gain for Wilkinson.
McDonough threw a strike on the slant route, and Wilkinson's one of those big physical guys, showing he's got a little ability as a receiver as well. Coming up underneath, and Jay McDonough sort of a sidearm sling in there, and Jeremy Wilkinson almost stripped that tackle by Jason Walters.
Wilkinson with his 5th catch of the season. So a first down for New Jersey. 40 seconds remaining in the half. Gladiators by 7. McDonough has Wilkinson in motion. McDonough looking for guys, and instead he's got Horacek wide open, blown coverage, and a touchdown for the Gladiators. 3rd touchdown catch of the night for Mike Horacek.
There he is, number 16 to number 1's been the combination for the Gladiators so far, and they bring Wilkinson underneath on the slant route again, and 2 guys go with him, leaving that man, the leading receiver on the Gladiators, alone by himself, running down the sidelines. Jay McDonough found him.
So a blown assignment as they leave the
Number
best
58
receiver.
and 55 are recorded eligible. 58 and 55 are eligible.
Wide open, and Mike Horacek gets the score. Steve Viditek on for the extra point. Cedric Robinson, the holder. Viditek's kick is good with 28.6 seconds to go. Mike Horacek with 3 touchdown catches in the ball game. Jay McDonough has thrown for 4. 35-21 Gladiators here on the Mike Horacek was one of the last players cut by the Green Bay Packers. Was with their practice squad. He's in his 4th year out of Iowa State. He's a talented young man. Turned down an opportunity to take part in the Packers offseason workout program. He said, I can get more experience playing my position, playing arena ball. He said, plus the pay is better. Viditek with the kickoff with 28.6 seconds to go. Marshall from 7 yards deep. Marshall hit by Johnson. Marshall carries defenders across the 17 to the 18-yard line with 23.8 seconds remaining. New Jersey in front of the defending Arena Football League champions, 35-21. Coming up at halftime, we will talk with the cousin of Grand Rapids quarterback Clint Dalzell. He's a teammate of yours, Dan Campbell of the New York Giants, the tight end.
He sure is, and he told Dad told us that Clint Dalzell was sort of a big brother to him growing up. They spent a lot of time together, so we'll get to the bottom of some of those backyard games they were playing down there in Texas.
Nice guy having thrown to you. Just working out in the offseason. Dalzell looking, and it's intercepted by Mason. His 2nd pick of the ball game. He read his eyes. Looked like the ball was a little underthrown.
I'll tell you what, David Mason has shown up tonight, forcing a fumble. That's his 2nd interception, 3 big turnovers in the first half, and he's the defensive leader for the Gladiators, and he does it with his voice, but more importantly tonight, he's doing it with his play. Huge plays for the Gladiators, creating these turnovers against the league's best quarterback.
Almost looked like he was playing safety there, where Cedric Robinson had the underneath coverage, and Damon Mason just stayed back and played center field.
And the Gladiators defensive coordinator, Brian Schwartz, tells me he likes to sprinkle in some zone. And a lot of times as a quarterback, if you think it's man coverage, you just take your shots up the sidelines knowing that your receiver's only being defended by one guy. That time Mason in a safety position coming over and making the play.
McDonough fumbles the snap with 15 seconds to go, and a flag flies as well. New Jersey has an opportunity here, leading by 14, to really put themselves in a position for a big upset against the defending champions. They have forced 3 turnovers and had a goal line stand. 4 empty possessions for Grand Rapids and Michael Trigg's squad. And in this, let's get the penalty first.
We have an illegal snap on the offense, number 96. It's still first down. Please reset the clock to 15.5. 15.5.
Call for the penalty. Frank Hagee wants him to work on that center exchange. Hey, Jason, in this sport, when you have 4 empty possessions, and you're the team that forced those 4 empty possessions, you have to win the ball game.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Grand Rapids scored on every possession except the last one last week. And now in the first half,
New Jersey, they're first.
Now in the first half, they have 4 possessions where they don't score at all. 3 turnovers and then a goal line stand. And huge effort by the Gladiator defense so far.
Well, tomorrow night at 6, go inside the pinstripes with a look at the life and career of Yankees legend Mickey Mantle on Yankeeography, one of the greatest ball players of all time. The story of the legendary number 7. He is tied to New York's baseball lore in the heydays of the 50s in the city that loved him so dearly. You simply cannot miss the premiere of Yankeeography. Mickey Mantle tomorrow night at 6 right here on Yes. And each Yankeeography seems to be better than the next. The Thurman Munson one had you in tears.
Yeah, it sure did.
I'm sure the Mickey Mantle one is spectacular as well. Jay McDonough would like to hit a home run here with 15.5 seconds to go in the first half. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes. His team leads by 14.
Sounds funny to say this, but you got to keep the pressure on. You got to take a shot here. If you can get this game to a 3-touchdown game, wow, huge feather in your cap going into halftime.
McDonough, he's got Dennison Robinson, and he's got it for the score. Oh, that ball hung in the air. I thought it was underthrown, but Robinson used his body effectively for the score.
I love the approach by Frank Hagee. They are taking shots. And that time it was Dennison Robinson's turn running the go route. And Jay was a little bit late with the football, but he got that thing out there. And Dennison Robinson did the rest. He's the best all-around player the Gladiators have, this time doing it on offense.
Jay McDonough, who scored, or it wasn't his fault, but the Gladiators scored only 14 points in the game last week at Chicago, have now put up 42 points with that Steve Vitek extra point. Here in the first half against the defending champions, Dennison Robinson, who's been one of the most consistent Gladiators all season, comes up with a big touchdown catch as he just beats J.J. Polk.
Just running the go route on J.J. Polk, and Jay McDonough looking for the isolated coverage and gets back there. A tick late with the ball, gets that thing out there, a little pressure in his face. And boy, he's happy about this one.
And you can see Robinson's body language, like, come on, ball, come down, come down. You know, Jeff Slavinsky, the media relations director of the Gladiators, told me during the week when I came out to the stadium, boy, Coach Schwartz and Coach James are looking for you Yes Network guys, because they want to tell you that we've got a game plan that is going to shock everybody against Grand Rapids. And so far, New Jersey, led by Dennison Robinson and the rest of the squad, has played an outstanding game, and they have shocked that man, Michael Trigg, the head coach of Grand Rapids.
They sure have, and Coach Trigg's going to be looking for answers at halftime. And we saw Jay McDonough's stats earlier in the ball game. He completed 4 out of 12, and you know, when you first look at that, boy, he's not having a great game, but he's taking shots. It's an aggressive approach. They're throwing the ball down the field. They're trying to score touchdowns, and I'll tell you what, you put up 42 against the defending Arena Football League champions in the first half. Wow, great performance.
Half's not over. Remember the Dallas game. Gladiators scored with 10 seconds to go in the half, and the Dallas Desperados returned the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown. So until the clock shows 0-0-0, especially in arena ball, you can never feel secure, because it is only a 50-yard field, so kickoff returns are not uncommon. Vitek send it just under the iron. And that is a touch play. That's almost a perfect kick. Fans, you can buy official Gladiators merchandise at Gladiator Gear Team Store online at njgladiators.com. It's available 24 hours a day and offers the best deals on official replica jerseys, hats, and T-shirts. Log on for a special discount of this Team Grit hat. It's online at the Gladiators Gear Team Store at njgladiators.com. That's the hat right there. Jason looking for a freebie. Look, you know, they have the Fan Fest outside. They have it before every game, little face painting.
The face painting is nice.
My son loves that. Little Christopher. 1st and 10, Dalzell. Smith, he's a game breaker. The Gladiators making sure of the tackle.
Yeah, speaking of sons, there was a new addition to the Papa family on Thursday.
That's right.
Nicholas Papa.
Little Nicholas Sebastian Papa was born at Morristown Memorial Hospital, so he joins 2-year-old Will and 4-year-old Christopher.
I think it does mean we have a proud Papa, don't we?
Means I have a foursome.
You're spacing them out nicely, too. I like it.
Dalzell, with 4.5 seconds to go, is going to look. Get that ball out of the field. Here it is. The hook and ladder to Compton, but the Gladiators right on top of it. And that is the way the first half ends. Frank Hagee has to love it. His team has forced 3 turnovers. They've gotten a goal line stand. And quarterback Jay McDonough has found Mike Horacek on 3 separate occasions. The New Jersey Gladiators dominating the defending Arena Football League champions at the half. Gladiators 42, Rampage 21 here on the Yes Network. Well, the New Jersey Gladiators have played an outstanding first half against the defending Arena Football League champion Grand Rapids Rampage, 42-21 at the intermission. Bob Papa along with Jason Garrett. And Jason, in the Gladiators' wins this year, they seem to be stuck around number 44 or 45. They've put up 42 points in the first half. Frank Hagee has to be pleased with the effort all around.
He's got to be really pleased. He was a little concerned this week coming into this ball game about how his team was going to respond, and I was concerned after the first drive. Dalzell throws a touchdown pass on the 3rd play of the game, but the Gladiators responded since then. 6 touchdowns in this ball game, 42 points in the first half against the defending Arena Football League champions. A great performance so far.
They forced 3 turnovers, and Mike Horacek, who's been so frustrated about being able to go deep, gets the first touchdown on a deep pass at 33 yards. It seemed to loosen up the entire team.
It sure did, and the Grand Rapids defensive backs are among the best in the league, but Horacek loves the matchups. He loves being in man-to-man coverage. Jay McDonough has given him 3 chances. He's cashed in all 3 times.
On the other side, Clint Dalzell, the quarterback for Grand Rapids, the best quarterback in Arena Football League play, has struggled. He's been intercepted twice. New Jersey has topped him on a goal line stand. He does have a touchdown pass in this ball game. Beautiful pass to Steve Smith. And he was able to get the ball into the end zone, but Dalzell has been bothered by the pressure. And joining us right now is the cousin of Clint Dalzell and New York Giant tight end, Dan Campbell. And Dan, what do you think of the arena game?
Well, I enjoyed it. I've seen a lot of games. I've seen Clint play a lot when he was in Houston, and watched a lot in Milwaukee, and now he's at Grand Rapids. And so I've seen quite a few games.
Growing up in Texas, you guys probably had some great backyard football games.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of good games. I tell you what, with our family, Clint and ours is, we got a lot of good athletes on our side of the family, and we always played out in the backyard and did a lot of things, basketball, football, and we had a good time.
As a big guy, you must have enjoyed seeing Jamar Ward make that catch and run for the New Jersey Gladiators, a 330-pound guy getting a chance to touch the ball.
You know, that's impressive. You know, that means there's hope for guys like me, you know. I mean, you know, I just wanted to say something about the addition of Jeremy Shockey to the New York Giants real quick. I'm looking for as opposed to a 13-catch season, I think I can improve with a 6-catch season now that we've got a new addition. So, no.
I was going to ask you about that because you made that brilliant catch late in the Philadelphia game in which the Giants almost came back and stole the division from Philadelphia late in the year. Fans remember that diving catch. What kind of mindset do you have going into camp when the Giants put such a premium on the tight end position and bring Shockey in?
Oh, you just got to take it one day, one step at a time. And, you know, that's been the cry around here a long time. I always felt like I could do the job, but apparently a lot of people didn't feel like I could. And that's fine.
I'm going to interrupt you right there. I talked to Sean Payton, the offensive coordinator for the Giants. He said Dan Campbell's going to be Howard Cross, Greg Camella, and Dan Campbell all in one. So you're going to be sweating. You're going to be sweating come Sunday afternoon.
That's not going to be a problem. But
hey, quickly, you think that your cousin Clint Dalzell can turn things around here in the second half?
He's a competitor. He's always been a competitor. That's where I get my spirit from. I grew up from it. He's going to turn it around. He's going to come back in this game.
All right, Dan, best of luck this season with the Giants.
Blood's pretty thick, isn't it?
All right, yeah. Dan Campbell of the New York Giants joining us, and the cousin of Clint Dalzell, who is the quarterback of Grand Rapids. They're on the short end of a 42-21 score. Well, Gladiator games are the perfect place to have your birthday party. Bring your Scouts, Dare group, or birthday party to the game and get field-level tickets as low as $9 a piece. And there are the Dare kids here tonight. Each child gets a free souvenir and gets to go on the field for free autographs with the players and Gladiator girls. For more information, log on to njgladiators.com or call 1-866-NJ-GLADS. Well, the police are here with the bagpipes and the Gladiators enjoying the music this evening. Well, for each and every home game, the New Jersey Gladiators present a different theme. Tonight, it's the police night, and the police marching band providing the entertainment, the Emerald Society, pipes and drums here at the Continental Airlines Arena. Well, the New Jersey Gladiators in front 42-21. Leslie Bogosian is standing by field side with a different angle on the story. Leslie?
Football players are some of the strongest in professional sports. It's no secret they spend just as much time in the weight room as they do running plays on the field. But it's a new day, and a player's fitness no longer depends on how much he can bench press. Giant wide receiver Amani Toomer shows us how he stays in shape.
Hey, come on. We're going to yoga class.
I know you're going to dig this.
I've been playing for the Giants for 7 years, going my 7th year, and I play wide receiver. I first became interested in yoga when my fiance introduced me to it when she took me to a class in California.
Breathe 2. Breathe 3. Breathe 4. Breathe 5.
I realized that I could get a benefit from yoga when I was actually doing the exercises and holding the poses, and you know, I thought it was very challenging, and I never would have expected it to be.
Find your balance. If it's just ego that holds you up, that's what tosses you over.
The Giants included the yoga when they brought in people last year to help us out in our training, in our off-season training. A lot of guys are doing the yoga on their own because they liked it so much. A lot of the big tough guys really struggle doing the yoga because of the fact that they're so big and they're so muscular, and yoga is more of a lengthening, strengthening type of exercise, and there's no weight, just your own body weight. And a lot of the guys who, let's say their body weight's a little extra, had a lot of trouble, you know, holding themselves up and with no weights at all.
If you're stable, straighten the right leg. And bring your gaze to the left. Breathing.
I don't know if the practice of yoga helps you recover any quicker, but it definitely, with the flexibility, with all the punishment that we take, it definitely minimizes the risk of us getting injured.
Inhale, point and bend. Exhale, flex, extend. Inhale, point and bend. Exhale, flex, extend. The word yoga means, literally in Sanskrit, yoking. Yoga is the yoking of the small self to the divine self. The divine is within, and it's not something outside of ourselves that we need to seek, but it's hidden within ourselves. The amount of focus that you need to practice yoga is something that I think would benefit any athlete. So like concentration in all parts of the body. The other day I just was speaking with my students, and most of them have very difficult professions, and many of them are very dedicated to practice. Use the breath. Become present in the breath.
I have exercise-induced asthma, so whenever I start exercising, my lungs contract and make it tough for me to breathe. So when I'm in a pose and I start trying to breathe harder and trying to breathe, and trying to gasp for air, it helps me to calm down. It helps me to just take slow, steady breaths, and it ultimately helps me in the poses.
Breathe 3. Breathe 4. Breathe 5.
The meditation helps in the sense that I mean, when you get caught up in a game, a lot of things are going through your head. People are yelling at you, coaches yelling at you, but for someone to, just relax with their breathing, relax and calm down and get their mind straight, You know, say you're not playing well the first couple quarters of the game and you still got the fourth quarter to go. You got to relax. The meditation helps with that, getting back to focus. I'm not too familiar with a lot of the spiritual aspects. I'm not a vegetarian. I mean, I really like meat, so it's hard for me to give up. But you know, it's a learning process, and I have a lot more to learn in yoga.
May the thoughts and actions of our own lives contribute in some way.
Hey, that was a great class, but now it's your turn. Go long.
Well, you can watch the latest episode of Yes Network Magazine this Monday night at 10:30 p.m. Gladiators lead it 42-21 at the half.
Welcome back. I'm here now with Coach Hagee. Coach, talking to you and your coaching staff this week, you pretty much did everything you wanted to do in the first half. Any changes?
No, we're going to hopefully do more of the same, and we'll see how they change. And if they change, then we'll adjust. So we're not trying to put the horse ahead of the cart. And we'll sometimes you do that and try to predict, but we'll see what they do, and then we'll go from there.
Clint Ozell is considered one of the best quarterbacks in this league, if not the best. Are you surprised by the performance today so far?
Yes and no. He's a little off, but our defensive coach, Brian Schwartz, done a great job of giving them a lot of different looks. The defensive backs are playing great, so I think what we're doing is adding to his frustrations.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Well, Clint Ozell and the Grand Rapids Rampage will kick it off here to start this third quarter of play. Cedric Robinson, 6 yards deep. He is dangerous on the kick return, and he is creating some space for himself here. There's Robinson to the 23-yard line where he's tackled on the play. So New Jersey scores the last points of the first half with a touchdown pass to Haracha. They get the interception, and now they have the ball to start the third quarter. Leading at 42-21, led by that man, Jay McDonough.
Sounds funny to say it, but this Gladiator offense, even though they're up 3 touchdowns, has got to keep putting the pressure on. Grand Rapids scored 71 points last week, so this game is far from over. They got to stay after him.
McDonough on a 1st and 10. McDonough has Robinson wide open. And they say Robinson stepped out at the 17-yard line. There's a white line at the base of those boards. The halftime stats brought to you by your Tri-State Quality Ford stores. And you take a look at the yardage. Grand Rapids has the edge, but look at the turnovers. 3 for Grand Rapids. That's the whole story. 4 empty possessions.
That's the one that jumps out, and I love Frank Hagee's comments. Clint Ozell's having a hard time, but I think it has a lot to do with that Gladiator defense. The guys up front putting pressure on him, and the guys in the secondary, led by Damon Mason, making a lot of plays, creating turnovers.
You can almost say it's 4 turnovers because they got stopped on a 4th and goal from the 3. McDonough to throw. McDonough zips it incomplete. Good coverage downfield by Grand Rapids. The Gladiators have a 3rd and a yard. McDonough in this ball game has hooked up with Horacek on a couple touchdown passes. Jamar Ward has one, the big lineman. Dennison Robinson has one. Horacek has been the key player with 3 touchdown catches in the ball game. And then they have a rushing touchdown from Cedric Robinson. Robinson, Cedric that is your motion man. 3rd and a yard. We'll pitch it to Carter. Frank Carter may go. Frank Carter standing up. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Gladiators widen their lead.
Big Frank Carter on the 3rd one takes it the distance. 260-pound fullback. His job more times than not is as a 4th pass protector. That time showing he's got some agility, can run the ball.
Number 58 and 55 have reported eligible. 58 and 55 are now eligible.
Great finish to the run and a great start to the second half for the Gladiators.
Vidatek's extra point right down the middle. So the Gladiators score on the first possession of the 3rd quarter. Frank Carter rumbles home. 49-21 Gladiators.
Gladiator players wear a helmet for protection against serious injury. If you worked in building construction, you may have worked with or around asbestos products. There's a good chance that you've been exposed to deadly asbestos fibers if you did. Many companies knew about hazards years ago, but never told workers or their families. It's not too late to help yourself and your loved ones.
Call 1-800-275-3332.
The call is free, and the advice is priceless.
Get an intimate look at the lives of today's superstars with the Yes Network's new interview series, Center Stage, where the most celebrated names go one-on-one with host Michael Kay and a live studio audience.
You two hated each other. I was deathly afraid of my father.
I was an expert in quarterbacking. They threw me out.
It's an in-depth conversation you'll hear nowhere else.
I wanted to be mayor to change the direction of the city.
Michael Kay hosts Center Stage, only on Yes, the home of champions.
Frank Carter made a heck of a run on the touchdown, but it starts with the guys up front. Watch our center right here, Paul LeCaire. He's going to reach block and get number 4, Willis Marshall. That's where it all starts. Give Carter a hole, and there he goes. Nice cutoff block up front by LeCaire. Frank Carter does the rest.
Frank Carter goes 18 yards, his second rushing touchdown of the season, second rushing touchdown of the night for New Jersey. And they widen their lead to 49-21. Buffalo has moved ahead of New York 30-29. New Jersey with a 1-game lead over Buffalo in the standings. Gladiators tied with Toronto for first place in the division. Marshall with a plan. Marshall, nice little cutback. And finally, it's Carter who makes the tackle at the 18-yard line. But Damon Mason got things going early in this ballgame. Defense for New Jersey. Mason forced to fumble on one possession, then a gorgeous pick here.
It sure was, and Damon Mason read the eyes of Clint Dolezal, jumping into on the out route and making a play. This time playing the deep safety. Dolezal doesn't see him, comes across in the top of that zone coverage, making plays. Also caused a fumble. Number 9's been all over the place. The emotional leader, the guy who's making the plays for the Gladiators all night long.
All 3 turnovers have led to Gladiator touchdowns. Dolezal for Compton, late flag behind the line of scrimmage. Tackle made at the 15-yard line. Let's see if we get a hold. Wilkie Bazile is saying hold on Grand Rapids, and so does our referee Tom McCabe, and he's the one that counts.
Holding on the offense, number 91, half the distance to the goal. Repeat, first down.
It's Corey Mayfield, the guard. Well, Gladiator fans, keep up to date with all the latest sports news on YesNetwork.com. Game updates on live Diamondcast, video clips from Yes Network programming, plus analysis from Yes Network broadcast team members like Jim Cott, Susan Waldman, and the K Corner with Michael Kay. For more scores and highlights, log on to YesNetwork.com. First down again for Grand Rapids. Compton gets tripped up across the 20 by Dennison Robinson.
As well as the secondary led by Damon Mason, who's played for the Gladiators, who we touched on in the first half. Coming into this ball game, Clint Dolezal has been sacked once in 7 games. He's been harassed all night long. The holding penalty there, and a couple sacks, a couple interceptions, a fumble, and I think it all starts with those guys up front. And, you know, Dwayne Sabb out for the Gladiators on that defensive front. He was the best pass rusher, but guys like Bates and Moncrief and Wilkie Bazile have really stepped up tonight.
Second down. Smith near first down territory at about the 23-yard line of New Jersey. Might be about a half-yard short. Damon Mason has played an inspired game tonight for New Jersey.
He sure has, and he's the guy that this Gladiator defense looks to. He's very vocal. He's the guy who gives this team direction. He's the emotional leader. But I'll tell you what, there's no better way to lead a football team than by making plays, and he's done it all night long. Did it again there.
3rd and a yard for Grand Rapids. Smith in motion. They'll hand it off on the inside to Travis McDonald, one of the fullbacks, and he has a first down to the 20-yard line. McDonald wears number 45 in his 5th year out of Missouri. He's a 250-pounder. Has 8 rushing touchdowns, played a little ball in the Canadian Football League. See, New Jersey doesn't mind this stuff because Grand Rapids is taking their time. Clock doesn't stop on incompletion. Clock does not stop here until 1 minute to go in the half and in the ball game. Compton was in motion. New Jersey offside. Marshall makes the catch. That touchdown is going to stand. I think that touchdown is going to stand as New Jersey jumped offside on the defensive end. And it is a touchdown.
Offside on the defense, number 58. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Carl Bates jumped offside. Marshall gets the touchdown for Michael Trigg. So just when I said New Jersey was keeping everything in front of them, they let a pass go over the top.
And it's a good call by Trigg. They go slant and go to Marshall, and Clint Dalzell comes out, takes a 3-step drop and pumps it, and then lays it up deep for Marshall, who runs under it and makes the play.
Goins' extra point is good, emphatically. So Marshall gets the touchdown. Clint Dalzell trying to work his team back into it. Gladiators lead it by 21 here on the Yes Network. The New Jersey Gladiators in front of the Grand Rapids Rampage, 49-28 here at the Continental Airlines Arena. Bob Papa, Jason Garrett, Leslie Bogosian. 9:16 to go in the third quarter. The Gladiators have played a very solid football game to this point. Goins to kick off. Dennis and Robinson back deep for New Jersey. New Jersey has forced 4 turnovers. They have not turned it over in the ball game. Dennis and Robinson. The hesitation move and gets stopped at the 5-yard line. So Jay McDonough, after watching his team score only 14 points last week in the loss at Chicago, as you see, Chicago's defense has tightened up. They lead Detroit 30-0 in the second quarter. And Buffalo and New York still in a 1-point ball game. Well, Chicago was giving up an average of 55 points a game for the first 5 weeks. They gave up only 14 to New Jersey last week. They're shutting out Detroit right now.
Dick Butkus has returned.
McDonough under center. Horacek with 3 touchdown catches is the motion man. McDonough just gets it off before the play clock. His pass gets batted in the air, incomplete. Ron Manuel got his hand up. Well, on Sunday, June the 23rd, the Gladiators are back on Yes. Home field skirmish. This is going to be a very important game against the division rivals, the Buffalo Destroyers, who beat the Gladiators on opening night. The battle for the division heats up live as the Gladiators take on the Destroyers in a 50-yard war. Saturday, June the 23rd at 8:30 right here on Yes. Actually, that's Sunday, June the 23rd here on Yes at 8:30.
Frank Hagee's got to stay aggressive now. You got to keep putting the pressure on. It's a 3-score game. There's still a lot of football to be played.
2nd and 10, McDonough wanted Wilkinson, has Robinson instead. Robinson lets his legs do the talking, and he picks up 9.
That's what Jay McDonough does better than anything else. He moves around, creates a little time for himself, and he keeps his eyes down the field, and he finds the open receiver. And I'll tell you what, Dennis and Robinson is the guy you like to get the football to. He's one of those guys. He's just a football player. We've talked about it before. He shows up in all 3 phases, and he always seems to be going north and south with the football, which as a quarterback you love having that guy on the offensive side of the ball with you because he's making positive plays.
And he played with Jay McDonough in Arena Football 2 last year at Quad Cities, where Frank Hagee was the head coach. 3rd and a yard, they'll run it. McDonough keeps it. Let's see if he's got the wheels. J.J. Polk can't get him. McDonough inside the 5 and knocked down at the 4. That's the Chicago grit of Jay McDonough.
It sure is. And they go fake it to Frank Carter this time. And Jay McDonough keeps it around the end. There's an option, but there's no pitch man. He fakes it to Frank, follows him. A great run by McDonough, and stay away from those boards, number 16. They're no fun. I'll tell you what, a lot easier to run out of bounds in 11-man football.
J.J. Polk, the defensive specialist of Grand Rapids, is going to take a lot of heat. He got stiff-armed by a quarterback. 1st and goal at the 5. False start. Although
be careful with the disparaging comments about quarterbacks there, Mr. Papa.
Although I do remember...
Prior to the snap, false for 90 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
I think it was, I can't remember if it was Kerry Collins or if it was Kent Graham when he was with the Giants. A couple times, a few stiff arms, and Deion Sanders, and one time even took him on with the shoulder. So
Well, if I'm the coach, I don't like that matchup, but both of those guys are about 250 plus, so Dion was giving away about 50 or so pounds.
2nd and goal at the 10. McDonough. Wow, Denison Robinson got away, flag on the play near the line of scrimmage. And let's see if this is a hold on New Jersey. Yep, hold on the Gladiators, takes that score off the board.
Holding on the offense, number 90, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 20.
Hunter Adams is the guy who got called for the holding. On the left side of your screen, you can just see him bulldoze the defensive lineman down. And I'll tell you what, as a quarterback, though, you like a guy who's got a little fight to him. You'd rather have him do that than let him hit you. So
he's from Caldwell, New Jersey.
Not all bad for the Jersey kid.
You know he's going to have some fight. Still 1st and goal, now back at the 20. Another flag. I think that Horacek might have jumped offside, makes a sliding attempt at it in the back of the end of it. I think Horacek was a step offside. And New Jersey had a 1st and goal at the 5, and it looks like they'll have a 1st and goal now from the 25.
Offside on the offense, number 1, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Horacek a little too quick.
Mike Horacek a little bit aggressive. Here's the line of scrimmage here, and Mike just gets a little aggressive on that motion.
The penalty is declined. It's 2nd down.
I'll tell you what, I think they're close every time. It might be a little bit picky calling that thing.
That's the first one we've seen called all year, Jason.
That's for sure.
Good move by Grand Rapids to decline the penalty, because the penalties were actually playing into New Jersey's favor. They lead by 21. We're in the 3rd quarter. The clock keeps moving. Keep giving them more plays to run. They're just running off more time. 2nd and goal at the 20. Grand Rapids needs the ball. He's got Wilkinson, does McDonough, and he makes the catch in front of Marshall. I thought it was underthrown, but Wilkinson grabbed it.
Pretty nifty play by Jeremy Wilkinson. Again, the enforcer of this Gladiator football team showing a little skill as a receiver. Runs a deep crossing route, and Jay did a nice job just sort of laying it away from the defender. Wilkinson, a nice catch in dealing with the defender and with that wall and getting himself in the end zone. Another big play for the Gladiators on offense.
Wilkinson with his first touchdown catch of the year.
58 and 55 are eligible.
The Karen Bates eligible. Viditek for the extra point. He knocks it through. So the Gladiators just feasting on Grand Rapids defense. This time it's Jeremy Wilkinson with his first touchdown catch of the year. 56-28 New Jersey.
If you play for fun or play to win, the St. Barnabas Sports Medicine Institute in Livingston offers the region's most comprehensive sports and performing arts medicine program. From advanced diagnostics and treatment options to state-of-the-art rehabilitation. Many of our physicians are affiliated with professional athletic teams and organizations, so you'll receive highly specialized care just like the pros. Call the St. Barnabas Sports Medicine Institute at 973-322-7330. Whatever your sport, our team can help.
Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there. Holy cow,
It's Yankees baseball on Yes. Jason and the Bombers send the Giants back to the Bay as Bonds completes his historic weekend in Babe's backyard. Paul O'Neill joins Greg Hickman for complete pregame coverage tomorrow starting at noon only on Yes.
New Jersey with a 56-28 lead over Grand Rapids. Bob Papa, Jason Garrett. Let's watch the touchdown pass to Jeremy Wilkinson.
The crossing route, and I'll tell you what, Wilkinson, a real athletic play there. Defender Willis Marshall coming over the top. He makes the hand catch, keeps the feet in bounds, stays away from the wall. A nice athletic play by number 19, Jeremy Wilkinson.
Jay McDonough had 60 yards on that drive. He ran for 31 and passed for 29. Marshall off the net. Marshall thrown down. Wow, what pursuit by Michael Moncrief. The 27-year-old converted linebacker from North Alabama. big guys are hustling. Everyone getting in on the act.
Tell you what, Michael Moncrief taking advantage of his opportunity today.
Did he take advantage of the guy's face mask?
He sure did. Putting that big paw out, you know. Tell you what, a little pressure on Dozell earlier in the ball game, making plays in the kicking game. It's great to see.
Last week, New Jersey scored 14 points. Incomplete pass by Dozell. With 4:15 to go here in the third quarter, New Jersey has scored 56 points. Now, the most points they scored in a game this season, as Clint Dozell tries to get things squared away, was the overtime win against New York. They scored in that ball game 76 points, but it took overtime. It took a return interception for a score, and it took 3 kickoff returns for a score. New Jersey's doing this with defense. See the 2 picks, 2 sacks, and they're doing it with great execution on offense. Little shovel pass from Marshall makes the catch at 5, wasn't touchdown. And finally, touchdown by Adams at the 8. Oh, fans, here's your chance to become a junior Gladiator girl. Guess that means the girls. You'll have the opportunity to dance on the field with the Gladiator girls at the cheer and dance camp. You'll get a full day of professional instruction, free t-shirt, personal autograph session from the dance team on Saturday, June 22nd. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Includes free tickets to the next home game on June the 23rd against Buffalo. For more information about cheer and dance camp, call 1-866-NJ-GLAD. 1-866-NJ-GLAD. Another interception. This time it's Johnson. Third pick on Dozell. They were looking for Smith, underthrown. And Jeroy Johnson gets the 3rd interception of the ball game, 4th turnover. Dozell had 10 picks coming in. He's been picked off 3 times tonight.
He sure has, and this time it's Jeroy Johnson's turn, covering Steve Smith. And Dozell's thinking he's running sort of a crossing route. A little short with the football. Johnson's there, nice return. Wow. Turnover, turnover, turnover. Cutting up underneath, ball underthrown by Dozell. Number 5 is the fastest guy in the field, making a nice return.
And Dozell wasn't pressured there. Did Smith run the wrong route? You get that sense just by his reaction there.
Timeout, New Jersey. They're first.
New Jersey calls a timeout here with 2:39 to go in the third quarter. The Gladiators dominating the league champions, 56-29. Live here on the Yes Network. 30-year-old defensive coordinator Brian Schwartz was fired up about this game all week, Jason Garrett, and the challenge that laid ahead in his defense has been spectacular.
Sure was. He's been pacing all week in practice, pacing before the game, but he was excited about the opportunity to go against the league's best offense, and boy, his group has stepped up.
And that's Ron James. He coaches the big guys, and Jamar Ward has a touchdown catch, and they have gotten pressure on Dozell all game. McDonough under some pressure, lets it rip, incomplete.
And back to Coach Schwartz and James, those guys, they've got to be excited about how they've played, more so than schematically what they've done. I really feel like their guys have played with a purpose. Some of those young guys up front putting some pressure on the quarterback. Take a look at Jay McDonough as he's getting sacked. The wherewithal to get rid of that football. Good awareness by McDonough, and he's played awfully well tonight too.
Yeah, you have Madison Johnson laying that 280-pound frame on him.
Intentional grounding on the offense. There was no eligible receiver in the area. The 5-yard penalty, lost it down, 2nd down.
No question about that penalty. McDonough just heaved it into the flat.
No question about it, but I'll tell you one thing. The flag came awfully late, and it came after a lot of begging by the Rampage. So that always makes me a little suspicious. Again, a quarterback perspective, though.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, Jay McDonough has lived through a lot of frustrations this year. The Gladiators' offense has not clicked. They've been efficient enough to win games and have a 4-3 record. But tonight, for the first time this season, they have clicked as they had expected to in the preseason. McDonough buying some time, dumps it off underneath. Let's see, are they going to call that a incompletion to Alvin Ashley? Hulk on the coverage. Well, we saw McDonough get thrown to the turf by a 280-pound guy. Let's see his bounce back ability.
Oh, he's got bounce-back ability. I'll tell you what, one of the things that you find out about him is he has good ability. He's athletic. He throws the ball well from the pocket and on the move. But what I like most about him is his grittiness. You mentioned it before. He's a kid who grew up in Chicago. He's got some toughness about him, and the rest of this Gladiator team responds to how he plays.
He's a high school teacher as well. A little pump and go, looking for Wilkinson. Oh, whoa! Jeremy Wilkinson with a spectacular catch.
And a pretty darn good spike by Jeremy Wilkinson. Wow.
Well, the rookie from Northern Michigan showed his tremendous athleticism there, Jason.
He sure did. And again, you know, he prides himself on being a physical player.
Number 58 and 55 are reported eligible. 58 and 55 are eligible.
Wow. He's reaching right over Marshall. Here's Viditek's extra point, and it is through. The Gladiators have now put 63 points up on the board.
What a great play by that man right there, Jeremy Wilkinson.
26 years of age, played wide receiver in college, and he just twisted right over Willis Marshall with his touchdown catch.
A little bit of a throw behind fade. Jay's trying to throw the ball short. Probably not that short. Willis Marshall's pretty darn good cover corner, and Jeremy Wilkinson using that big frame and that athletic ability. What a great play.
Explain to the fans, because it's been a common play in the NFL as well, where you underthrow in that situation, but not this much. Right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times you'll see quarterbacks throw the ball a little bit short, anticipating the cornerback to think you're throwing the ball deep into the corner of the end zone. He throws it short, but like you said, probably he didn't intend it to be that short. Jeremy Wilkinson using that big body and using that athleticism, coming back and making a spectacular play.
Take a look at this in regular speed. Unbelievable. He looked like a pretzel going over Marshall.
He sure did. When your head's well below your feet, that can't be a good sign.
No. Wilkinson, he too played with McDonough and for head coach Frank Hagee last year at Quad City. He had 57 catches last year. And that's what the Gladiators have done under general manager Chris Marin, head coach Frank Hagee. They brought in players that are familiar with Hagee's system, and they have been a team with a lot more continuity this season. Ross across the 5. New Jersey's done a great job covering kicks in this ball game. On the flip side, the defending champions of arena football, the Grand Rapids Rampage, led by the best quarterback in the league, Clint Dozell. He's had a nightmare of a night.
It has been a struggle. We looked at Ron James and Brian Schwartz, the defensive coaches for the Gladiators, and they got to be awfully happy because they're doing it every way you can. Look at the 3 interceptions there. Again, great plays by the secondary, but there's been pressure on number 13 all night long, and it's hard to throw from your heels. A great team effort by the Gladiator defense.
He's been sacked twice. Coming into the game, he had only been sacked once all season. Ricky Ross picks up about 7 yards on the play, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. The New Jersey Gladiators making a statement tonight, battering Clint Dozell. Gladiator fans loving it. A 63-28 lead after 3 here on the Yes Network. Bob Papa, Jason Garrett, Leslie Bogosian at the Continental Airlines Arena. We get set for the start of the fourth quarter. The Gladiators lead the defending Arena Football League champion, Grand Rapids Rampage, 63-28. The Gladiators have forced 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions of Clint Dozell, the best quarterback in arena football. Plus, they've stopped the Rampage on a goal line stand. Dozell going over top. He's got Marshall for the touchdown. So Willis Marshall has picked up another touchdown catch as Dozell took punishment even in throwing the score.
He sure did, and that was the same play that they scored on earlier, the little 3-step drop by Dozell, the pump fake on the slant route to Marshall, and he goes deep, and Dozell just has a tremendous touch on the deep ball, just lays that thing out there, throws a perfect strike, and I'll tell you what, they still believe they can get back in this ball game.
Goins on for the extra point. And the kick hits the bar, and it is no good. So Goins not able to convert on the extra point. And even though Clint Dozell threw a touchdown pass, more punishment from the Gladiators. New Jersey in control here in the fourth. Well, the New Jersey Gladiators dominating Grand Rapids 63-34. New Jersey Gladiators Arena Football has been brought to you by Bud Light. Make it a Bud Light. St. Barnabas Healthcare System, New Jersey's healthcare leader, and by your Tri-State Quality Ford stores, built for the way you live. Well, the New Jersey Gladiators have been built for success for tonight's ball game, led by head coach Frank Hagee, and the assistants as well, as Brian Goins gets ready to kick off for Grand Rapids. They're not known for their onside kicks. That is a New Jersey Gladiator specialty. That one goes under the upright, and it'll be a touchback. Well, Jay McDonough has enjoyed a spectacular evening. We'll take a look at a couple of touchdown passes to Jeremy Wilkinson. His only 2 touchdown catches of the season. The last one, a 34-yarder over the top.
Jeremy Wilkinson and Jay McDonough were teammates in Quad Cities last year for Coach Frank Hagee. I'll tell you what, it looks like they've been playing catch a long time together. 2 touchdown strikes, 2 very athletic plays by Wilkinson, and number 16, Jay McDonough, has been on, making big throws all night long.
McDonough has 7 touchdown passes in the ball game. They're going to run it on the inside to Frank Parnell. Remember, the clock does not stop on incompletions, on plays that go out of bounds. The clock continues to run until there's 1 minute left in the ball game. Now the clock is obviously on New Jersey's side, and really the only thing that they have to prevent against is turnovers. But Jason, sometimes when you try not to turn it over is when you do turn it over.
Yeah, you have to continue to stay aggressive. And in the back of Jay McDonough's mind, he has to know the situation, but he has to get back there, make his reads, continue to drive the football down the field, and stay aggressive and continue to take advantage of this momentum that they've built up through the first 3 quarters.
The center snap has not been a sure thing in this game. They've bobbled a couple of them. McDonough. Dennison Robinson near a first down. He's about a yard short. Compton on the coverage.
And a good throw by Jay McDonough, but a better catch by Dennison Robinson. That 4-foot wall is padded, but I'll tell you what, it's still a pretty strong impediment, and Dennison goes down there, a good hand catch along the sidelines, and gets themselves in a manageable 3rd down situation.
This is a huge upset with Grand Rapids coming in with a 5-2 record. The defending champions. McDonough will keep it. It's tied up around the ankles by Lucas Yarnell, the nose tackle. And it's a loss of about a yard. And, you know, listen, the Gladiators staff and the coaches and players felt they had a good shot to win this ball game. And you could make the case when you're at home it means a lot more. However, nobody expected a 63-34 edge in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, the Rampage come into this ball game having won 4 in a row. They're 5-2. They got the best offense in the league. And, you know, one of the things the Gladiators players did say is they felt like the Rampage might be looking past them. And
4th down. Flag on the play as they just try to lob it up to Cedric Robinson and Haracha. Let's see what Tom McCabe has for the call.
Offside on the defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty makes it a 1st down.
And that is a killer for Grand Rapids. Tomorrow afternoon on Yes, Barry Bonds makes his last appearance at the stadium. Rubber match, Giants and Yankees. Interleague play. Paul O'Neill joins Fred Hickman, Susan Waldman on the Yankees pregame show at noon. Then Michael Kay, Jim Cock, Bobby Mercer with the call from the stadium starting at 1. San Francisco Giants, New York Yankees tomorrow afternoon at 1 right here on Yes.
We heard that theme from a number of different Gladiator players. They felt like Grand Rapids was feeling pretty good about themselves, might be looking to their next opponent. Gladiator struggled last week, and I think they were counting on that. This Gladiator team in all phases, they play with a purpose tonight, and Grand Rapids hasn't, and that's been the difference.
Haracha looking for his 4th score, and he's got it. There's a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. Hold, New Jersey. Now this one is coming back.
Holding on the offense, number 58. 10-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
It is coming back, but I guarantee it, those Grand Rapids defensive backs are sick and tired of number 1 running into the end zone. A strike by McDonough, another good route by Haracha, and another big play. The hold, I believe, is going to be on Carl Bates, number 58, and the blitzing linebacker, Bates was a little late to it, and Blair putting a little pressure, a little too much cloth by Bates. But, hey, you know something, again, I mentioned it before, as a quarterback, you want guys to compete in front of you. And they scratch and claw and they battle. And sometimes they hold and big plays come back, but that's okay, too.
How about Mike Horacek's night? Horacek has a total of 4 catches, 3 for touchdowns. Tough attempt by Cedric Robinson. They say good catches. He hits the wall at the 21-yard line. At the base of that padding is a white line. And that you can hit the wall as long as your feet are in bounds. And you only need 1 foot in bound, like college football, for it to be a legal catch. There's the white line at the base of that padding. And you only need 1 foot in for it to be a good catch.
I'll tell you what, I mentioned it before with Cedric Robinson. With Dennison Robinson's catch, and you look at Cedric Robinson on that one, it's tough when you got a defender on your back and you got to make a catch and that wall comes up. Those are outstanding plays the receivers are making.
Cedric Robinson in motion. McDonough under pressure from the linebacker Blair. Oh, my goodness, there is Jamar Ward. He's got a 28-yard touchdown catch and run, and he picks up some more.
Rumbling, mumbling, stumbling. Big number 96. Morningside College's finest, 340 pounds. And he's getting the crowd into it.
Well, he had on the screen a 28-yard catch and run in the first half. He, too, played for Frank Hagee at Quad Cities last year.
Do you think in Jay McDonough's wildest dreams he'd ever think that his favorite target might be a guy who weighs close to 350 pounds?
Jamar Ward's loving it. And I give J.J. Polk some credit because he's 180 pounds. He was giving away close to 200 pounds, and he stuck in there and made the tackle. Let's send it down to field side, and Leslie Bogosian, who has more on JoJo Polk.
You just saw Polk take
man downfield, number 55.
JoJo Polk has made one of the most amazing comebacks in sports. Playing in the AFL two years ago, he went to make a tackle in a game versus Charleston and went headfirst into the boards and broke his neck. After meeting with doctors, they told JoJo he could either operate or, because of his excellent physical condition, hope for the possibility it would heal on its own. Polk chose not to have the surgery, and in what his doctors called nothing short of miraculous, Polk not only healed, but was cleared to play football the next year. And guys, he just was another name on the roster. He led the Rampage in tackles last season.
Thank you very much, Leslie. Yes, 61.5 tackles, 3 interceptions, and a forced fumble last year. And after that story, that'd be reason enough to step away from a Jamar Ward if he was charging at me.
A worthy recipient of the Arena Football League's most inspirational award, and he comes to play every week. And you said he's 180 pounds. Jamar Ward's probably twice his weight, and he's sticking his head in there. That's the kind of guy you want on your football team.
Paul LeCare was the illegal man downfield, so they'll do it all over again. Horacek, Dennison Robinson, they kind of got tied up with 9:23 to go here in the ball game. Well, the game summary is brought to you by St. Barnabas Healthcare System. Jeremy Wilkinson, his first 2 touchdown catches of the year, 7 touchdowns for Jay McDonough. But here's the key. 4 turnovers for Grand Rapids, plus they were stopped on a 4th and goal, so that's almost like 5 turnovers, and New Jersey has made them pay with 4 touchdowns against.
Those are the stats right there. I like the touchdown to interception ratio for McDonough. 7 TDs, no interceptions. He's made the big plays. He hasn't made the bad plays. And this Gladiator defense has been everywhere, slowing down the Rampage offense.
And Damon Mason has come up huge after the teams traded touchdowns in this ball game to start it. Mason forced a fumble, turned the whole tide of the game around. McDonough looking for Horacek for touchdown catch number 4. He's got it. Then he laterals the football. There's a flag on the play. It's recovered by Grand Rapids. Not really sure what Horacek was thinking there. Let's see what the flag is. That was thrown at the 9.
Feeling pretty good about himself, lateraling that play. Jay McDonough, a tremendous athletic play to get the ball to Horacek. Horacek wanted to make sure they finished it on that one.
Illegal contact on the defense, number 9. The 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And it all comes back.
So Joseph Todd called for the penalty. Nice movement by McDonough.
It sure is. He's such an athletic guy and moves so well and throws the ball so well on the run. But he actually wasn't trying to pitch it to him.
It was Waters who knocked it out.
A good hit by number 21, Jason Waters. And Horacek just trying to make an athletic play and finish it. And a good break for the Gladiators to keep possession of this football. But a wild play, and it all comes back ends up in a 5-yard gain for the Gladiators.
So Jay McDonough gets his team from the line of scrimmage, the 22-yard line. Cedric Robinson is the motion man. 8:10 to go in the ball game. McDonough, Haracha can't hold it. Polk on the coverage.
It was excellent coverage by Polk there. They go slant again to Haracha, a good route and a good throw, but JoJo Polk getting that left hand in there right when the ball arrived. Number 1, Mike Haracha, couldn't keep him on his back. A good play by Polk.
Polk came into the game with 24 tackles. Oh, and the Gladiators scored on their first possession of the ball game. McDonough, 37-yard touchdown pass to Horacek. You can almost feel a release of a pressure valve on the Gladiators offense. They finally hit one over the top. Screen pass, Carter. Carter with some room. Carter is strong. Carter will not be denied. Wow. Carter has scored. I'll tell you what, Frank Carter had a spectacular run earlier, and that was as good as a run. It goes down as a touchdown pass for Jay McDonough, but that was Frank Carter.
We've seen two of the most amazing screen passes that have gone for touchdowns. Earlier, Big Jamar Ward. This time it's the fullback, Frank Carter, and we made about 8 people miss and made a couple of them miss a couple different times.
Number 58 and 55 have reported eligible. 58 and 55 are eligible.
Viditek on for the extra point. He's getting a lot of practice as the Gladiators try to put their 70th point up on the board. A team that scored only 14 last week in Chicago. Viditek's kick is good. Frank Carter gets his second touchdown of the ball game. Frank Carter with a catch and run of 28 yards. Spectacular play. Frank Carter with a 28-yard catch and run, his second score of the ball game. And the New Jersey Gladiators pummeling the defending Arena Football League champions 70-34. The Gladiators drive, because of some penalties, 7 minutes and 53 seconds. That is unheard of in Arena Football League play.
Big Frank, another Quad City alum, and he makes this whole Rampage defense miss. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he finishes it. 5 different guys have shots at him. He's 6'1", he's 260 pounds. He's an excellent pass protector, but he's showing tonight he can catch and run that football too. A great play by Frank Carter.
Viditek, end over end kick. Ross, 7 yards deep. Ross with 15 runs out of a tackle, and Ross finally dumped right near midfield. Gladiators dominating Grand Rapids live here on the Yes Network. Clint Ozell, the best quarterback in Arena football, had a rough night. 21 of 30. Yeah, that sounds good. 302 yards sounds good, but intercepted in this ball game 4 times. And now Todd Hamill comes in. He is the all-time leading passer in Arena Football League history as he hits Ross. Hamill, the all-time leader in attempts with over 1,800. Completion, attempts 3,300. Completions 1,800. Yards 23,276. Interceptions 126, and 4th all-time in AFL history with 353 touchdown passes.
Pretty good backup.
Yeah. 10th year out of Stephen F. Austin. I remember him because he played for the New York, New Jersey Knights of the World League of American Football, which is now NFL Europe in the early 90s. He was a 12th round draft pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 1990.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 93. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And the coach of the Grand Rapids Rampage, Michael Trigg, back to the drawing board. Fans don't just watch the game, be a part of it. Come to Summer Beach Party Night here at the Continental Airlines Arena. Next home game Sunday, June the 23rd. Cheer on the Gladiators. They'll take on the Buffalo Destroyers. Key game in the division. Summer Beach Party Night, June 23rd. Bud Light Sports Water Bottle Night as well. Don't forget to check out the Fan Fest 1 in the parking lot. Wear a Hawaiian shirt. Get a ticket for $12. Call 1-866-NJ-GLAD. Hamill, Smith, Wilkinson and Robinson on the tackle.
Clint Dalzell's had a tough night tonight, but I'll tell you what, Michael Triggs got to be happy with his quarterback situation. Dalzell's among the best in this league, and Todd Hamill, your backup quarterback, is the leading passer in Arena Football League history. So he's on the downside of his career, having played 10 years already, but to have a guy like Todd Hamill waiting in the wings if something happens to your main guy, boy, that's a good feeling for a head coach.
There you get a look at the numbers. Smith can't hold it, and another fan gets a souvenir. That's the third one into the stands. Any pigskin that flies into the stands gets to be kept by the fans.
I'll tell you what I love about those fans down there is they were making the play on Smith. Smith felt like he had a shot at that one. These guys are getting involved in the action.
Now they're helping fix the padding.
The more you can do, right?
Gladiator girls in the crowd with the Dare kids who are here at the ball game. You know, as Leslie Bogosian positioned at the beginning of this ball game, Frank Hagee used it as a little bulletin board material. Grand Rapids elected to not go through their walkthrough yesterday. They went on a tour of New York. New Jersey took that as an offense, that they didn't want to go through final preparations for us, and we'll show them. And you know, in football, any psychological edge you can get helps.
It's a small thing, and it's something that the Gladiator team, a number of different guys mentioned it to us, and they were clinging to that a little bit coming off the loss last week. They said these guys are taking us lightly, and you know, they attached some emotional significance to Grand Rapids going into the city yesterday, and they played with a purpose, and Grand Rapids hasn't. So maybe there's something to it.
Hamill the throw. Hamill to Marshall. And Marshall gets twisted back at the 3-yard line. We showed you that Buffalo score. They've defeated New York. So with that win, the Buffalo Destroyers in the Eastern Division of the National Conference are now 4-4. Chicago, which held New Jersey to only 14 points last week, an unheard of 43-3 lead over Detroit. You see, we've updated the standings for you there. Buffalo now at 4-4. New Jersey is on their way to a 5-3 mark. Toronto plays tomorrow. And of course, Buffalo comes to town in 2 weeks. Next week, New Jersey is in Tampa to take on a disappointing Storm team. They're only 2-5 on the season. First and goal, Hamill, miscommunication there. He just shovels it to one of the linemen. And let's see, do we have a score over there?
Touchdown.
It is a score. Wow, he just sort of underhand the football.
And it wasn't a lineman, it was the fullback, well, Chris Ryan.
He looks like a lineman.
He sure does. He's 300 pounds. And that's Todd Hamill's experience right there. Sort of a hook shot to Ryan. Just the play was busted, but he figured something out, and big number 36 shows up and finishes the play.
Hey, that's why he's 4th all time in Arena Football League history as Hamill for touchdown passes. That was number 354. And Ryan, one of the outstanding runners in this sport. They're going to go for 2 here, down by 30 with 1:55 to go. And they get the 2 as Ross scores. New Jersey Gladiators dominating Grand Rapids 70-42 in the waning seconds. New Jersey Gladiators live here on the Yes Network. Exclusive coverage for all the home games all season long. Gladiators leading the defending league champions 70-42. Jay McDonough has thrown 7 touchdown passes. Glenn Foley warming up, got some mop-up duty last week in the 44-14 loss at Chicago. Glenn still feeling his way through this foreign experience known as arena football compared to playing the outdoor game. Jason, it is 2 separate entities, isn't it? As Jay McDonough had a spectacular night.
He sure has, and he's mastered this indoor game. It's a great feel for playing. A big night for him tonight after the tough loss last week in Chicago, and the team looks to him. He responded.
And Grand Rapids is feeding the fans along the sidelines. Glenn Foley will come in on that kickoff that goes out of bounds.
Illegal procedure on the kicking team. The ball is kicked out of bounds. By rule, it's put on the 20-yard line. First down.
And in a 50-yard field, when you get the ball at the 20, that is quite a penalty to discourage balls from going out of bounds. Glenn Foley last week in Chicago completed 3 of 6 passes. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Spent 6 years in the National Football League with the New York Jets. Does the wise thing and gives it to Frank Carter.
Yeah, he does, and you might think this is mop-up time. You're up 28 points with 1:20 to go, but I'll tell you what, Glenn Foley's going to try to take advantage of this. Anytime you can get game snaps, go out there and work up a little bit of sweat, you improve and you benefit from it, particularly when you're trying to transition from the outdoor game to the indoor game.
Well, it's going to take us to the 1-minute warning. Gladiators in total control here on the Yes Network. Bob Papa, Jason Garrett, Leslie Bogosian, Continental Airlines Arena, New Jersey, dominating Grand Rapids 70-42 with 1 minute to go in the game. Our producer has been Jim Ressler. Our director, Larry Cam, handling the stats here in the booth, John Berger. Great job by those folks. Providing the pictures and the direction throughout the course of the evening. And a lot of highlights for New Jersey. Frank Carter, a couple of touchdowns, a nice run, a nice catch and run. Jamar Ward, the big lineman, has a catch and run. 2 receptions in the ballgame. Frank Hagee has spread it around. Mike Horacek went deep. Jay McDonough was efficient. Let's talk about the defense. Damon Mason, 2 interceptions and a forced fumble all in the first half. And New Jersey then capitalized, but they slowed down a great offense.
Roy Johnson making an interception, but again, it starts with the guys up front. I really feel like Clint Dalzell was thrown from his heels most of the night, and those guys in the secondary converted that pressure into big plays and creating turnovers.
Last play of the ball game, Frank Carter runs it right. Done. He's not done. Frank Carter wants more. Frank Carter finally knocked down at the 9. And the clock will stop because of the first down here in the last minute of the ball game. So 6 seconds to go. Now they'll wind the clock, and that'll do it. Jay McDonough with 7 touchdown passes, no turnovers. New Jersey forces a bunch of turnovers. New Jersey very efficient, and the Gladiators dominate. Be sure to join us on Sunday, June the 23rd, when the division rival Buffalo Destroyers visit the New Jersey Gladiators at 8:30 p.m. right here on Yes Network. For Jason Garrett, Leslie Bogosian, coming up next at Center Stage with Sugar Ray Leonard. The Gladiators 70, the Rampage 42. Good night, everybody.